Homeless people, how did you turn your life around? Growing up, it was just me and my nightmare of a mother. She was addicted to pills, screamed constantly, and made sure I knew I was her biggest mistake. When she wasn't screaming, she was hitting. I learned early that disappearing and keeping my mouth shut was the only way to avoid her rage. By the time I turned 18, I knew I had to escape. The military looked like my only option, so I enlisted right after graduation. Basic training was brutal, but it gave me meals, routine, and a bed, which was more stability than I'd ever known. That's where I met Maria. She came from a broken home too, and we clicked immediately. She was the closest thing I ever had to a sister. We made plans for after service, decent jobs, a place near the beach, and finally living life without fear. But she never made it out. It wasn't even a major operation, just a routine patrol that went wrong. One moment, she was laughing. The next, she was gone. I completed my tour and got discharged with nothing but a duffel bag and no plan. My mother was never an option, and Maria had been my only real friend. I tried to rebuild. I went to the VA, but it was chaos. Appointments took forever, files got misplaced, and I kept getting nowhere. My money disappeared fast. When I couldn't make rent, I lived in my car. When that got repossessed, I ended up on the streets. At first, I kept fighting. I applied for jobs and told myself tomorrow would be different, but nobody wants to hire someone with no address, no shower access, and nothing but trauma they're running from. Eventually, I stopped trying. Alcohol helped at first. Then alcohol wasn't enough, so I found stronger escapes. Some days I ate, most days I didn't. Time became meaningless. One evening, I was sitting against the building wearing my old service jacket when a woman stopped in front of me. She was older, maybe late 40s, with kind but knowing eyes. She asked about my service. I wasn't interested in conversation, but when she offered to buy me dinner, I couldn't refuse. We went to a quiet restaurant, and for the first time in months, I ate until I was satisfied. We talked while we ate. She had served too, a decade before me. She lost her best friend in combat, just like I had. She had an abusive parent, just like I had. Her husband had died young, and her daughter lived across the country. When we finished dinner, she mentioned it was getting cold and asked if I needed somewhere to stay tonight. I was wary, but she promised, saying she had extra space. Her apartment was modest but cozy. She pointed me to the bathroom and said to shower while she cooked something else. That night, we talked until dawn. I hadn't realized how desperately I needed human connection until then. Before I slept, she said I could stay longer, with one condition. I had to stay clean. If I used again, I had to leave. I agreed, but withdrawal was torture. I couldn't sleep. Everything hurt, and my brain felt like it was coming apart. She stayed with me through it, made sure I ate, and held my hand when I thought I'd lose it. In exchange, I helped with repairs. I painted walls, fixed plumbing, and learned skills most people never think about. For the first time in forever, I had purpose. One night, when the cravings became unbearable, I lost it. I couldn't handle it anymore. I slipped out, determined to find something to numb the pain. But as I wandered the dark streets, I passed the corner where we'd first met. I stood there forever, remembering everything she'd done for me. I turned back. She was sitting on the steps. She didn't look mad, just worried. She asked if I'd used. I said no. I'd wanted to desperately, but I thought about her and all she'd sacrificed for me, and I couldn't betray that. She was silent for a while. Then she wrapped her arms around me. I'm proud of you, kiddo, she whispered. I just stood there sobbing. After that, we became real family. A month later, she contacted an old colleague who managed a warehouse and got me hired. I nearly fell apart when I thanked her. She'd given me what I'd never experienced: a home, a parent, and hope. I still struggle sometimes. I still miss Maria, but now I have someone who believes in me. And for the first time ever, I'm starting to believe in myself too.